So I would like to welcome Nathalie Fosse, the director of Fosse Restorative Therapy, who, she's a movement therapist, but so much more than that. I've spent a lifetime obsessing about movement, and this is one of the people that inspires me incredibly every day in my practice. Not only to learn more, do more, and be better at what I do, but to dare myself to step out of the box and look at things from different perspectives. So thank you for joining us tonight, Nathalie.
I need my cheat sheet, so forgive me. So my little Halloween story for you tonight is going to be a story about the brain and the pain. What I'm going to talk about is how any threat to the brain actually means pain. So for a long time now, it has been accepted that the brain produces pain, but it also was thought that the pain was coming from a specific area in the brain, the way the vision is located in a specific area in the brain, the hearing, or for that matter, every single joint of your body has its own location in the brain, called the brain maps. But it doesn't work that way for the pain. Pain does not have a specific location in the brain. That would be way too easy. Just cut it off and no more pain, you know? So quite the contrary, but it's really since in the last 20 years, thanks to the modern neuroscience, it has been shown that many areas now in the brain are involved in creating what we now call not just pain, but the pain experience. And that pain experience actually has a purpose. The pain experience is a signal. It's an output signal. It's an alert signal. And an alert signal means that we need to take action. So this is the purpose of pain, is for us to take action. But before we go any further into that brain-pain connection, we need to talk about the brain's primary function. What is our brain's first job? What is its primary job? Anybody has any guess? Why do we have a brain? What is it supposed to do? To keep us alive? Exactly. Our brain's first job is survival. My brain's first job is to keep me alive. Your brain is to keep you alive, to make sure that you stay alive. And how does the brain do that? Two ways. First of all, constantly, our brain regulates our heart rate, our respiratory rate, our blood pressure, the blood flow to our extremities. This happens automatically without us noticing it. It's controlled by what we call the autonomic nervous system. The other way the brain is keeping us alive is by relying on pattern recognition, also called prediction. What does this mean? Every microsecond, the brain is making prediction about both our internal and external environment. For example, I'm walking in a busy street, and my brain is constantly evaluating the environment, whether it's all the cars, driving by, if it's the sirens from the ambulance, the skateboarders that's on the sidewalk I'm on. And if you're living in France, my brain is also evaluating basically the dog poop on the curb. Constantly, it's working where is the danger. So without us realizing, actually our brain is constantly altering our decision, our behavior, our reaction. So what does it mean in the context of me walking in the street? It's like my brain is going to decide to help me decide to have time to cross the street without being run over. All these things happen constantly. Is the skateboarder coming in my direction? Is it seeing me? Am I going to have to dodge avoiding him? How many meters away I am from that dog poop? All the time it happens. It's processing. But how does the brain make those predictions? The brain, to make prediction, needs to information are coming from our main sensors, which are our eyes, our inner ear, and also all the joints, all the nerve endings in the joints. Those are little sensors that collect the information. This information then is sent to the brain. It's like a stimuli, and the brain processes it, and then it compares it with its library of déjà vu experience. Okay? So, I'm obsessed with cooktop right now. We're remodeling the kitchen. So let's take the example of the cooktop. And when the cooktop is on, so there's usually, like I said, this red plate on the cooktop. Am I going to reach for it with my hand? No, because I recognize that the red cooktop means that it's hot, there is danger. I have that stored in my library of déjà vu experience. How did I learn that? Either by hearing about it, by watching somebody getting burnt, by reading about it. So our experiences are built from experience, but also by learning through different ways. And as we all know, sometimes the prediction goes wrong. Okay? It goes wrong why? It goes wrong because the information received by the brain is a bad information. That means those sensors are not sending very clear information to the brain. So if the brain receives the wrong information, the integration is not going to be, it's going to be a poor integration. The prediction cannot be good. How does it translate? It translates into poor reaction, poor movement, okay, which can actually lead to pain, to injuries, like that cooked up. If I don't recognize that the red means that it's hot, I'm going to keep reaching for it and I'm going to burn my hand, okay? So now that we know that the brain's primary function is survival, we can understand better why the brain produces pain. Okay? The pain is produced by the brain because it's part of the survival system. And unfortunately, what's happening today, too many people are going from physician to therapists to trainers. We're still having a difficult time integrating that concept in our practice. We still spend too much time working on this area where we feel pain. And myself, I'm guilty of that. In my years of massage therapy, I realized today how much time I wasted working on somebody's chronic shoulder pain. There's a famous doctor called Carol Lewitt. He's an international authority in manual medicine. He's actually the founder of the Prague School of Manual Medicine and Rehabilitation. And his famous phrase is, "He who treats the site of pain is lost." And I'm going to say that again. He who treats the site of pain is lost. So what does it mean? Therapists, trainers, yoga teachers, professional athletes, everyday athletes, because all of us actually, we are athletes. There's somebody who said that life is a sport, so we are all athletes. So all of us athletes, all of us practitioners, it is important that we never restrict our attention to the site of pain if we want to heal from injury or if we want to prevent recurrent pain. I'm not saying, of course, here to ignore the pain. We must pay attention to it because pain has a function. The function of pain is a signal. It means that we need to take action. That's what pain means. Pain is produced when the brain perceives that there is a potential danger or threat to the body. when there is a potential danger or threat to our survival. And pain is produced so that an action is taken. So if we look at the definition of pain given by the International Association for the Study of Pain, which is actually the leading pain society in the United States. So the definition says, pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage or described in terms of such damage. So this definition falls a bit short because it really omits the fact that if there is pain, if there is pain, it means there is danger to the body. And if there is danger, action must be taken. So a more complete definition of pain should include the concept that pain is an action signal. Has anyone ever been in a situation where there's a danger? What happens if you ignore the alert? What happens if you ignore the danger? What comes out of it? It's usually not pretty. Would you agree? So no, do not ignore the pain. Take action. Also, otherwise, you will end up experiencing injury or chronic pain. So let's go back to my cooktop. Let's say I did not recognize that red top means that it's hot. I'm going to reach for it. I'm going to burn my hand. There is pain. This is the action signal. Okay, what action am I taking? It tells me you need to do something for your body to survive. So the action I'm taking is just to remove my hand. That's why brain produces pain. And there are more subtle ways where pain expresses itself. Let's say I fell, hit my shoulder, and I actually injured a little bit my shoulder joint to the point that when I tried to do I mean, my shoulder hurts when I reach this level, okay? So the brain is going to send out that pain signal. But because the brain, again, its function is survival, the next time I'm going to do Urdhva is going to trigger the pain before I even reach the height where there is the injury. Because my brain's job is to keep me alive, okay? If I force it through, there is the injury, I'm putting more threat on my body. So the brain is going to stop that. But if I do nothing, my Urdhva is going to end up here with time. So you know that then it's time for you to call your massage therapist. Instructor. Go see your trainer. You know, it's time to take action. So what do we have so far? What is the brain's primary function? Survival. The pain is produced by?
The brain.
The brain. Thank you. So why would the brain produce pain, we said? To alert us. And the subtlety here is because the brain produces pain in response to a stimulus that could be a potential brain to our body, in response to a stimulus that could be a potential threat to our survival. So the question is, what are those stimuli that could be a threat to our brain, for our brains, that our brain sees it as a danger? Well, the answer is a little bit scary. Virtually any stimulus could be a threat for our brain, could be seen as a threat by our brain for our survival. Virtually any stimulus. Cheat. I need to read this one. So our brain can produce a pain signal in response to any stimulus or event that threatens our survival. whether the stimulus is cognitive, emotional, or physical. If our brain perceives a threat to our ongoing survival, it is most likely that we will experience pain or a nauseous event of some kind. So we're going to take a very simple example. I'm riding my bicycle, there's a red pickup coming at me, they just have repaved the road, it smells asphalt very strongly, there's a car that honks, I freak out, it feels, and I fall. There's lots of things happening, it was a scary experience. And out of that, I injure myself. And that red pickup down the road could trigger actually a threat. My brain in that moment, in that experience, could have recorded the red pickup as a threat. It could record, the honk of the car, horn of the car,
Yeah.
as a threat. The smell of asphalt also. So all these things can be transformed into stimuli that are threatening the brain. So this comes out of an accident, an incident. But there are also threats that are way, way more subtle. There are threats that are coming, as I mentioned earlier, we're collecting information through our main sensory system. Threats can come from our main sensory system because we all know our body, it's not optimal, our function is not optimal. So the main sensory system that feeds our brain is composed of the visual system, your eyes. And your eyes are what guides your movement, in the world. Okay? The next part of the sensory system, the main sensory system, is your vestibular system, your inner ear, which helps us fight gravity. That's what keeps us from falling. Okay, anybody has balance issues here? Just think about it. The last part of the main sensory system is what we call the proprioceptive system, which is composed by all the nerve endings, all the joints, the mechanoreceptors in our joints. And our proprioceptive system tells us where our body is in space at all time. So the brain really relies on the accuracy of those signals, of this information collected from the eyes, the inner ear, and the joints. Okay? And if any of those inputs are slightly distorted, the brain is going to receive an unclear message, an unclear information. And what comes out of an unclear information? Threat to the brain. The brain is threatened. It's threatened. What happens? It's going to trigger a pain signal. If there's pain signal, we need to take action. So we could do a little test. That's a little bit risky in case it doesn't work. Anybody has any shoulder issue or let's say difficulty touching the floor? Anybody wants to be my guinea pig first? Michael? Yeah, I can notice that. You got him. So, tell me what's going on with you.
Do I have something going on with me? My
What?
shoulder.
Actually, do you have any injury? Do you have a limited range of motion? Do you have any weak muscle?
Let me see. My low back.
Your low back.
Yeah, it's been giving me issues. I've been working on it with somebody though. It's been getting better. Does it have to be bad right now?
No. Is there any movement that can trigger discomfort in your low back?
Sitting down for a long time.
Sitting down for a long time. We cannot test that. We don't have that much time. How are you doing if you bend forward?
I think I do okay. Alright, maybe I'm not good. Maybe I'm not good right now.
We can, maybe we can make you a bit
My
more
elbows.
flexible.
My elbows.
Tell me.
I have right now, even right now, I have this pain right here.
that is located between the calcaneus and the talus.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to use. I want your left foot.
All right.
Right foot. Left.
This is my left foot.
Yes. So
This is a little.
keep your foot down. Keep your foot on the
Okay.
floor. I'm going to give your joint a little stimulus so that your brain is starting to pay attention to that joint. Okay. And then I'm going to do the movement for you the first time. So that's it. And you return to neutral. And again. And you return to neutral. Now you're going to do it yourself 3 times. And don't look at your foot. You know that there's 5 toes and it's perfect. Maybe a little bit slower the next one. Yes. And return to neutral. Okay. Let's check your deltoid. I'm taking my chance.
All right.
And when you're ready, you're going to press up. Do you notice any difference?
I noticed maybe I'm flexing my quad a little bit.
Oh my gosh! Did you notice any difference in how your deltoid fired up? I don't know if somebody saw.
Yeah.
Oh, but
We
It looked like it was
noticed.
strong,
We
yeah.
noticed.
So this is what we call the arthrokinetic reflex, but we're simply actually, I'm optimizing the nerve endings, I would say, to be very simple, of the joint of his heel. Because the brain responds, so for whatever movement we need to do, the brain all the time is, remember, is collecting information from the external and the internal environment. Well, obviously, that heel, that joint, your sternocalcaneus joint, was not optimal. But just by activating it, we made it stronger. And anytime we optimize something in the body, whether it's a joint or the visual or the inner ear, we get more flexible, we get stronger, and we get pain-free. So, and we could do all kind of tests like this also with the eyes. So, thank you. I don't know if it's very convincing.
Yeah.
I just want to conclude briefly, though, that pain is, as we said, an action signal produced by the brain in response to a threat to our survival. When the brain is threatened, it will do anything it can to keep us alive, even if that means to impair some of our functions. And this is crucial, because for that reason, it means that pain can and does induce body-wide changes in order to help us undertake the threat. These changes in function can range all over the place, from actual pain, dizziness, inflexibility, weakness in the deltoid, excessive tension, nausea, endocrine response, immune response, and nervous system dysfunction. So in short, it can really create changes in our body at every level. So this is why anytime you feel pain, pay attention to it. Because pain is an action signal. We need to do something about it. Before I finish, again, there are 2 people I really need to thank, because without them, I could not do this presentation tonight. And one of them, of course, is Melissa. Because really, Melissa gave me a chance a few years ago to really begin my journey, my personal journey to a healthier body and to healing. So thank you so much for that. I owe you a lot. And the other person I want to thank is actually Dr. Eric Cobb, who's the founder of the Z Health Performance Solution, which is the classes I'm taking right now, and it's all about, it's a brain-based system. The course is fantastic, and my little presentation tonight actually comes from that course. So I want to give credit to who it should go to. Thank you for your attendance.